Greetings. Hello, my name is Drew. You're you. And you know what my favorite thing about you is that you like to hear people talk about fountain pens, which is great, which is why we work, because I like to talk about them. And I have plenty of fountain pen stuff to talk about today. In fact, I've got paper, ink, and pens today, so we're gonna get a nice variety, which they say is the spice of life. You can be the judge of that. But we're gonna kick things off with a little bit of something different. Colorverse came out with some cards. So these are not the first of this type of product. These are Swatch cards. And they're interesting because they aren't just your average Swatch card. So they're not just pieces of paper with something printed on them. I mean, there is something printed on them, but what is printed is kind of an interesting sort of ink-proof design. So this one, you can kind of, I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but we've got some constellations here. And I'm going to actually show you what's happening and why these swab cards are interesting. And I should be using a Colorverse ink. We actually have, I've got a Colorverse ink right here. Well, whatever. Anyway, this is Konpeki from Iroshizuku. So when you decide to put down some ink on this particular type of paper, you are going to only see what goes down around the printed designs. Where it's thicker, sometimes it can cover it up. But it's like almost a sort of plasticky, waxy coating on certain parts of the page so that only the non-coated parts show up. And then you've got this cool little, got some stars, some constellations. This whole set, both the large and the small, are constellation themed. So, oh, I believe this is Orion, isn't it? Yay, look at that. He's shooting his bow. Ka-chow. So we've got this design as well as a design that you can see pictured here that has sort of a collection of stamps with all of the different zodiac sign or constellations throughout the year on them. So you get two different designs on this pack. This is the size C. Both this and the smaller one are both going to be $12, but obviously these are larger. This one is about 4 inches by 2.5 inches. So definitely larger. This one, you know, you can see it's very small compared, you know, probably not quite half the size. Yeah, about half the size, maybe a little less than half the size. But with this one, you get more designs. With this one, you actually get 12 different designs, and you guessed it, they're all the zodiac signs. In which case, right up here, you're gonna see Cancer, the month of which lies somewhere in July there. So very cool. You can just swab a little bit of this and then, you know, write the name of the ink here. Or you can cover the whole thing if you'd like. You can do whatever you want. But they're really neat, and they're on really nice, on really nice paper. Colorverse. Oh gosh, what? Colorverse. Anyway, I'll put it right here because future me will know this answer. It's good stuff though. It's not, look at it, there's no bleeding. What you might get if you cover this whole thing, you might get the paper kind of curling up a little bit, but you put something heavy on it, it'll be fine. So pretty cool there. You've got 12 of these designs, 2 of these. Both are available now at $12 for each pack. The large one here, you see, has 30 sheets in total. Nebula, there it is. Nebula paper. Golly, what is wrong with me? It's right on the front. So you've got 30 sheets here, and then on the smaller one, you've got 36. So again, 12 different designs here, and then 2 designs here. Both are super fun. Whatever works best for you, you can grab it because they're here for you if you need it. And then we can actually talk about some Colorverse ink now. Let me use this card as a napkin to get up the ink that I spilled, because I'm classy like that. Oh, that's why I'm putting the cotton swab right down on the table. Have no fear. All right, Witch by Moonlight. This is a spiritual successor to our Goulet exclusive ink that we worked with Colorverse on, which by Starlight. Which by Moonlight is, we're carrying this in the smaller bottle. This is the 30 ml bottle, which we thought was a little bit more reasonable. Those big Colorverse bottles are big. So this one's going to be a 30 ml. I'll show you some cool pictures here, but as far as the bottle goes, it's right here in my hand. We've already opened this one, so I can at least show you what the packaging looks like here. It's Witch by Moonlight, and there we go. It has a ton of shimmer in it. This is a lighter color, and it does shimmer really well. But and it's different enough from Witch by Starlight that if you have one, you can certainly stand to add this one to your collection. So you'll see a good variety there. In fact, this ink was the ink that kind of was our second choice before we chose Witch by Starlight. This was the lighter one. We had to pick between light or dark, and we loved them both. We eventually did settle on the darker version, which we sold as Witch by Starlight. But just recently, Brian K was like, hey, why don't we go back and do this other one? We can call it Witch by Moonlight. And we were like, yes, that's a great idea. Let's do that, because we love the color. So now we've got them both. So hopefully you like them both. And if you don't, maybe one is good. We have both of them still available. So you can go Moonlight or Starlight, whatever sort of light you like in your life, or both. They're here for you. We're going to talk about another ink, though. And this ink comes to us from Wearingeul. Oh, I did not say the price. Price, y'all, on the Colorverse is $17. Again, 30 ml, $17. Which? Moonlight. Wearingeul now. Wearingeul, Valley of Fire. Fear. Fire. Golly. It's Valley of Fear. I knew that. It's a Sherlock Holmes book. I just learned that. I don't know anything more than that, but if you're a fan of Arthur Conan Doyle or Sherlock Holmes, or if you are simply a fan of dark blues that have a really rad red sheen, this ink might just make you happy. It's a very cool color. I did get to use it. In fact, I wrote Valley of Fear, but in my brain I still am thinking Valley of Fire for some odd reason. There's no shimmer in here. This is strictly a deep blue with a nice red sheen, obviously on a paper that is ink resistant, like Tomoe River, 52 grams, which I used for the writing samples you'll see on our website. Those sheen really heavily. On something like Rhodia paper, you'll see less sheening, but it will still show up, especially depending on the type of pen you use and the amount of ink that you're going to be putting down. Let's see what we got here. Oh, little card there. They give you the Pantone number, which is pretty cool. No other ink company does that. A Wearingeul is made in Korea. Very neat. So this particular ink is going to be selling for $22. And like the Colorverse ink that we just took a look at, it's 30 milliliters. So unity and stuff. All right. That is it for our ink and paper segment. Everything else going forward is going to be pens. And I think this might actually be a shorter-ish episode today because we've only got 3 pens to talk about. The first of which is a Monteverde. And it is here, folks, and it is an exclusive, meaning you can only buy this particular pen at the Goulet Pen Company. And it's a cool one. Let's take a look. All right. So we've got our box, but you're going to see something interesting as soon as I open it. Oh, congratulations. Well, thank you. Look at this. How neat. You've got a yellow, pink, purple, lilac, lavender. It's an ombre. We're going to be calling it the Lilac Yellow Ombre, and it is a limited edition. We have only made 250 of these with Monteverde, and this is Monteverde's Invincia Deluxe model. Beautiful clip, and then you've got your number right down there at the bottom. This is lucky number 182, and it is a metal pen. It does have some weight to it, but man, this ombre pattern is just strikingly beautiful. It has a nice shimmer embedded in the lacquer. And all of these are going to have about the same distribution of color. So we did take a look at these, and you will see a multitude of these photographed. Heck, I'll show it to you right now. You'll see that a multitude of these have been photographed by us under the same lighting conditions. While the arrangement of the colors will differ pen to pen, the distribution of the colors is pretty consistent. You're not going to get one accidentally that's like all pink or all yellow. Everything is nicely balanced, which really made us happy because this is the first time we have worked with Jaffa in developing a Invincia with an ombre pattern like this. So it's something new for us. I believe it's something new for Monteverde altogether, and we're really happy with the way it came out. So hopefully you are too. Let's take a look at what's going on under the hood a little bit here. So it is a threaded cap and grip section here. You'll see it's got a Monteverde steel nib as expected. These are made in Germany by Jowo, so they're very reliable. And you do have a metal grip section. It's a little slick, but you've got a very, very obvious stop right there. So, your fingers really can't go past that point if that is something that you're concerned about. The pen is well balanced for a heavier metal pen. You do feel it, right there on your palm, but it's not unruly. I believe this has a snap. No, it doesn't snap, no. But it has a nice post to it. This does back weight it pretty considerably. I'm not sure that I would post this pen, but right here it does feel pretty comfortable. And then it's a cartridge converter pen. It'll come with both. So nothing too fancy there. The nib and the feed are easily removable for cleaning, which is a nice feature. They just pull right out. You can get this pen completely clean without having to worry about ink getting all up in the nooks and crannies where you cannot access. And we do have some plastic threads there that work with the metal threads on the grip. And a nice smooth action here, nice and quiet. And the Monteverde Invincia Deluxe in yellow lilac ombre is $92. All right, we're going to look at some more pens. And I think we're going to jump right into Franklin-Christoph next, once I put this back on, so that whomever happens to be lucky enough to pick up this pen has it all as it should. Franklin-Christoph. So we did another exclusive with them. We do this about once a year, and we've always done the Model 31 Franklin-Christoph, and we did it again using a new resin that we haven't used by Jennifer Early over at Stormwinds Blanks. We chose her Ascension wing material, and that is what we're calling this. It's a Model 31 Ascension wing. One great thing with Franklin-Christoph is you do get this lovely zipper pouch included, free gratis, and the pen is right there. Boom, boom, boom. Ascension wing. Here we go. This is a lovely material. My favorite thing about this material, we'll get into that in a second. Let's take a moment to just peek closely at what all is going on here. We've got a lovely holographic shimmer embedded into the resin, and then, you see that? There's the converter. That is my favorite thing, y'all. This pen is sneaky with its little nuggets of translucency popping in throughout the pen at certain points. Not a lot, but enough. And I just love it. It makes the material look so, ethereal and light. And that's one thing I like about a lot of the materials I've seen from Jennifer Early, is that I keep going back to that word because I don't know anything better, but her materials seem to have an ethereal vibe to them. They're very light and whimsical and misty, and this is no exception. I love it a lot. So the Model 31 has these three unique rings here in the middle. You can always tell that's why it's a Model 31 by that. And another interesting thing that the Model 31 has is that the nib is set into the grip section a little bit. So it's not exactly what I would call hidden or shrouded. It's just collared a little bit. It's like the grip section is a bit of a turtleneck for the nib, which is neat. If you wanted to choke up on the grip a little bit and didn't want to have the full length of a number 6 Jowo nib, which is what this is, made in Germany just like the Conklin, then you can choke up on it a bit and have your fingers a little bit closer to the paper than they would be with a standard number 6 nib poking all the way out. Franklin-Christoph has a lovely etched F there on their nib. It's a cartridge converter pen. And there we go. Do they have, they do, look at that. They have their, sorry, I keep bonking this light. They have their logo right there, Franklin-Christoph. These threads are really nice. I can just like spin it on. Man, that's really cool. Whee! And the inner threads, you can see, are very fine. The outer threads, though, are very chunky. And you can, again, see a little bit of the threads through the material because the material is pretty translucent, which adds to the depth. Like, you can definitely see how some of these shimmer bits are lying beneath or above other shimmer bits. So it's got a nice depth to the material. And like this white here is obviously above this clear part where these happen to be, the little flecks of glitter. I could just stare at this thing for probably longer than I should. This is a distracting pen, so terribly sorry about that. You know, future warning there. This pen is available now for $175. It's only available at the Goulet Pen Company, and it's going to only be available for until we sell out of them. So only 250 of these have been made or will be made. So get them while you can and stuff, I don't know, or just look at it, enjoy it, and say that's cool and move on. That's fine too. Wait for the pen that happens to call your name. If this one is it, then, I mean, who are we to argue with fate, right? Go ahead and get it. But otherwise, there will be others. So, you know, hooray for that. Next up, our final pen of this video is going to be a Visconti. And I tend to kind of save the more expensive pens for last. I don't know if that matters. It's just something I do. I have to make them in some order, right? Or I don't. Either way. This is a Homo Sapiens. A new Homo Sapiens, Visconti's flagship model. And this one, we're going to take right out of the package. We're going to go the whole distance here because the package is something to be noted. Guess what this is called, y'all? Yeah, I don't need to guess. You're smart people. You can figure it out. It's the Iris Garden. Let's see. Do we need to pay attention to this? Oh, some information here. And a card about your pen. Oh, this has the double reservoir power filling system. It has an 18 karat gold nib. All right. Oh my God, y'all. This is number 84. I did not know that. Okay, sorry. I like the number 84. Please excuse me, I did not know. Okay, it's not important. It's not important. I'm not going to buy it. That's really cool. All right, anyway, Iris Garden. All right, not to be confused with Garten. This is a Homo Sapiens, and this is one of the most recognizable pens in the fountain pen industry and the most recognizable pen in Visconti's library, though usually not pink and purple and maroon. It's usually, you know, the most iconic part of the Homo Sapiens line is the Bronze Age with the basaltic resin lava situation. This one is a resin one, and they do come out with these from time to time. They're always pretty limited, and they always are pretty popular as well. So as you can see, this one is numbered 84 out of 388. So only 388 are made. It feels really high quality. It's not a very plasticky feeling resin, and I would say that that is a great thing because it's $1,036. And if it was a plasticky feeling pen, that would make me sad. But I'm not sad. I'm not sad, and hopefully neither are you, because this is a gorgeous pen. This is actually my first time seeing it in person. I've seen photos, but I will say that the fit and finish of this is really, really nice. And I mean, just looking at how all of these bits of trim match up so cleanly, it presents itself nicely. It really does. You've got a spring-loaded bridge clip here, which is one of my favorites. And then you can see that we've got some more rose gold trim down here by the knob, which we'll show in a second. This pen, like most all Homo Sapiens, has the hook-safe lock mechanism that you open by giving it just one little twist, either in or out. You feel a bit of spring-loaded tension coming from the cap, which is because there's a spring-loaded inner cap here, but that's what connects the cap to the hook-safe lock here and to these ridges that are carved along the grip section, or the top of the grip section. And these match up with the notches here, or not notches, what's an opposite of a notch? post. Anyway, these little nuggets inside the cap that lock into these grooves here. And then, which that, is fun, but it also provides you a really nice seal so that your pen stays ready to write and doesn't dry out too fast. And there's the Visconti 18 karat gold nib with Visconti's gorgeous imprint. It's a lovely nib. It's a medium, which is going to write pretty heavily. I actually really like the Visconti medium gold nibs. And it is a double reservoir powder filling system, which operates using a vacuum inside the barrel. You pull back that, submerge your nib in some ink, push this down. This one's a bit tight. There we go. Better now. And then you have a full-ish fill. Do it a couple more times and you'll see more fill. And there is the gasket. So you'll see that you've got an O-ring there and then, a wider gasket up at the top. And when this is depressed like this and still unthreaded, this second reservoir here is still open, having ink flowing from the main reservoir here to the second reservoir and then to the feed and the grip section. Once this is closed off, you can see that right there, you see where the threads are, or we see where this line is? When you unscrew it, this pulls back, right? So this has an open flow, and then if you want to close that flow, you can screw it down. So at that point, you still have plenty of ink here in that second reservoir, the double reservoir, and then you have plenty of ink here as well, quite a bit actually. But then your main reservoir is still back here, not currently being accessed. And with pens that have a large volume of ink, sometimes you can minimize, any sort of leak sort of situations by keeping that closed off. So it's handy. And then of course, if you need some more, you can just open it up, get some more in there, and you can write with it like this too. That's just fine. But it's a really comfortable pen. It's a beautiful pen. You're going to see some variation in the swirls, but you are always going to see some swirls, some light, some dark, and some translucence. So translucency, clearness, translucence. Yeah, you're going to see some of that. And I'll say that these colors with the rose gold actually look really, really nice together. And that is the Visconti Homo Sapiens in Iris Garden Limited in nature and in production, and it is $1,036. So it's up there, higher than your average Homo Sapiens pens, but these are limited and will not be around for very long. We don't have many of them in our store either. So hopefully this is still available when this video launches. But the fact that we got number 84 just tickles me lilac. Anyway, that is it, people. I really appreciate you. I thank you for taking your time out of your day to spend some with me and for considering shopping at the Goulet Pen Company. All of the products that I mentioned will both be linked below in the product description and will be linked on the video itself. So you should see somewhere that says products featured or something like that. It's a new thing that I'm going to make sure I get done on this video. So going forward, you'll probably see that more, but it's still new to us. Either way, thank you so much. Have fun. Right on.